morning, everybody. My name is Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. Today is Try It Thursday. We're going to try something. We're going to try making a pie crust. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a very good job of it, but we're certainly going to give it a try. Okay, here we go. I've got 1.5 cups of flour. Now, I've already done a different bowl up there because I'm going to make this twice, but I'm only going to show once here. 1.5 cups of flour. Then I've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm just going to give that a little mix together. And I'm going to then add, now this is not, it looks like margarine, but it's not margarine. It is shortening, but it's the butter flavored shortening. So here they call it golden. I don't know if that means butter flavored, but I think it does. And I don't have a pastry blender or a food processor, so I'm just going to use a fork to start it up. And then I'm going to get in there with my hands. There we go. And then I'm just going to crumble that. We want to make it sort of crumbly like pea meal. So we're going to just crumble that up. So far it's easy. I made plenty of pie crust when I was younger, but I had a different recipe for that. I used a teacup and an egg and vinegar and stuff like that, but this was a very easy looking recipe, and ease is what I go for these days. All right, so once I get that all crumbled up, now it says you have to have very cold water. So I've got 1/2 cup of very cold water. I've got ice water going over here. So let me just pour it into a measuring cup without the ice. Now, they said you maybe wouldn't need the whole 1/2 cup, so not to put it all in at one time. So I'm going to bring my fork back over here, and I'm going to put about half of it in. I think it depends on whether you're in a dry climate or a moist climate, or how cold your margarine was. I'm going to put a little tiny bit more in that, and that's going to be enough. That will be all I need. I'm just again going to go in here with my hands. The best tools God gave us. And once I've got this then mixed up, I'm going to have to put it in saran wrap, form a disc, put it, oh, you're not even seeing me here. Goodness me, I'm not being a very good person here. I'm going to put it in the fridge for 4 hours. No, I'm going to have to use that last little bit of that water. Okay. And then after 4 hours, it will be firm enough that I'll be able to roll it out, or so the theory goes. Yes, that's good there. Okay. So now I'm going to just put that in saran wrap, put it in the fridge for 4 hours, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, I'm back. The dough has now cooled in the fridge. So we're going to just roll it out. Now, I'm going to be rolling it, I'm going to be making 2 of these, not regular pie plates. So, just put a little bit more flour down. All right. While I'm rolling these out, I should tell a story, I suppose. I'm going to tell about a Christmas that we had that we'd prefer to not remember. Clayton was just a baby, and we were going down to Vancouver for Christmas. And on our way home, we didn't realize that it was New Year's Eve, but we didn't realize that our car wasn't acting correct. We got outside this small town. We had no money other than gas money to get home. And we got outside of this small town, and our car the wheels weren't turning. Turned out it had a locked brake caliper. But we had no money, and the mechanic, of course, was not going to be in because it was a holiday. So we had to go in, and literally my husband had to beg to this motel guy to say, I promise when I get home, I will send the money back to you. But my wife and my 2 children are in the car, and we have got to stay somewhere for the night so that the mechanic can find what's wrong with the car tomorrow. So that's what we did. The guy was nice enough to say yes. I mean, Bill must have looked like an honest person. And so the guy was nice enough to say yes. And we then stayed in the motel that night. Oh, I need a knife here. No, I got this. This will work. So we stayed in the motel that night. The next day, the mechanic said, oh yes, I can fix that, but it's going to take a week to get the part. So then we had to phone my parents and say, could you buy us bus tickets? And we had to then, without a ticket in hand, they bought the tickets for us, but we didn't have an actual ticket in hand. We had to stop the bus when it came through the town and explain to him that yes, we did have tickets purchased, but we didn't have them on us. And the bus was full, but he let us get on. And we got home in the middle of the night, that night. And then we had to phone the taxi company and say, can you drive my husband to work for the next week? By the way, we don't have any money, and we'll pay you on payday. And they did it as well. So payday came, and we had to just pay everybody everything that we owed. And then Bill still had to take a bus ride and go back to Clinton to get the car after it had been fixed and pay for the mechanic. And I said, we will never again travel when we have no money. We just thought that, just we had enough money to get down and enough money to get home. We didn't need money while we were there. And we would just go and we'd spend the Christmas with our families. Never again. Never again. I said, we will have the money or we will not be going. But luckily, everybody was so nice to us. I mean, it must have been because it was Christmas time. Or maybe it was just a more innocent time. Or maybe we just looked trustworthy. I don't know. But either way, we were happy that it was over. Okay, I'm just going to crimp the edges of this one. Now, if this turns out, then I will say that Try It Thursday was a success. And I'll show you what I do with the pie afterwards, but I'm not going to show you and bore you with the filling and stuff. I'm just going to do the filling. Now I'm going to prick it with a fork before I put it in the oven. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and roll this one. And I'll say, I will see you back here when I've got the filling all done and I can tell you whether it's a success or a failure. Okay. Everybody, it's the following day. I forgot to show you what the pies looked like. And so Claudine has already taken the 2 pies that were in the red containers. They were cheesecake with lemon curd. And I made a chocolate for Bill and I. So turn you around. There's the chocolate one for Bill and I. And everything tasted very good. So now you've seen it all. Talk to you tomorrow.